Let's start with a scene from the movie.
Know who he was gonna pick.
We told him to. We've been telling him all day.
From the moment he left his hotel room, we've been priming him.
Focus on the word priming. We will get back to this later. Let's continue the clip.
Programming his subconscious. He's been seeing the number 55 all day long.
Yeah, and it's not only what he sees, it's what he hears.
The Mandarin word for 5 is Wu. So when he picks up those binoculars, looks out on the field, sees a familiar face with the number 55 on his jersey, and he thinks it's intuition, and he picks.
This video is an example of what we call priming effect. Unconsciously, things you saw, you heard, your experience can influence your future decisions and behavior. Focus on some words that pop up on your next screen. Now I want you to choose between these 3 different types of food. If priming effect is true, then you guys, or most of you guys, will pick the ice cream one. Because of the vocab that you saw earlier is related to ice cream. So does it mean you get influenced by priming effect? Is priming effect true? And can it affect people's behavior? Many studies of priming have been found to be unreplicatable. And this is a big problem because that means the result is not credible. In 1996, a scientific study including 3 different experiments, its results suggest that people's behavior can unconsciously be influenced by priming effect and stereotype. In all 3 experiments, different in priming conditions show different behaviors of participants, like how priming about rules can make people more likely to interrupt others. But the controversy is about the second experiment. What Florida, knitting, and bingo can make you think about. In second experiment, participant was asked to work with a list of words like Florida, oh lonely, grey, selfish, all words that relate to elderly. The results show that, in average, people with elderly priming work slower than people with neutral priming. And they conclude that the list of words unconsciously has influenced participants' speed. In other words, they say that people's behaviors can be influenced unconsciously by priming effects. However, 16 years later, these conclusions get challenged by another research. In 2012, a group of different researchers want to replicate experiments because they noticed some flaws in the original one. The first difference is that they use infrared beams to tame the speed of the participants instead of manual taming by human. Secondly, they replace some of the priming phrase with words that more related to old age. For example, they eliminate Florida from the list of words. Another difference is that they use a bigger sample of participants and they follow the double-blind procedure, in which both experimenters and participants don't know what priming conditions participants have. All of these changes aim to make the results more objective and there's no bias from experimenter. The results show that there's no significant difference in working speed between the people with elderly priming and the neutral priming. This means the list of words doesn't influence people's behavior, but instead something else does. So they do the experiment again, but this time the participants were informed about whether the priming conditions will cause the people work faster or slower. The results show that when the participants know that the prime people gonna be work slower, they tend to work slower, and vice versa. When the participants know that the people with priming condition will work faster, they become more likely to work faster. However, in both cases, participants with prime condition work slower than the one with neutral conditions. So this proves that it's not a lot, but priming effects still happens. However, it's in a more degree. It's not guaranteed that you will make people do what you are programming them to do. In the future, scientific studies can focus on why and how the programming effects can influence people's behaviors.